Welcome on into 19 on the Clock, your Tri-State High School and College Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Pushkar. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jackson McCarty. And unlike always, we are in a brand new recording location.
Brad, I don't know. I'm starting to think we might be a problem.
I think I maintain we're too loud.
Yes.
And they don't want to hear us anymore.
We're on our third spot, and we are only on our second football season.
Actually, yeah, that's really – I didn't even think about that.
We are – well, and to be truthful, far as these have been going out, we're like – we started with like 2 weeks left in the high school season, 3 weeks left in the high school season, regular season, that is.
Yeah.
So, like, now, to be fair, love this space.
I like the I like the chairs.
I firmly believe I firmly believe that we continue to upgrade.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is certainly like we're being rewarded, but I still do think that we're a problem of some capacity.
They're trusting us more and more with our own space and locations away from everyone else.
Yes, which is either congratulations, you've leveled up, or please get away from us. You guys can decide. Vote in the comments.
It's probably you, Smell.
Probably. Yes. Well, and they get tired of hearing us talk about King of the Hill for 20 minutes before the record starts.
It's a good show. That's all I got to say.
Dang old Boo Man. All right.
Dang old Boo Man. But speaking of, with today's episode, we got a lot going on. You are continuing our breakdown of all of the conferences in high school football. What we were talking about the GCLs today. Correct?
Yes, yeah. We the GCL South, GCL Coed. We've also got an athlete that I talked about last week that is now on the move, headed to a new school.
Yes,
we'll touch on that briefly. But on the college side, we're getting back into the MAC.
Yes, we're about a week and a half away since MAC. MAC kickoff, I believe is how it is. That was up in Detroit.
Media days, essentially.
Yeah, the media days. So we're going to be talking about Miami and kind of just where the MAC is sitting right now, as well as a recent reporting about a collective bargaining agreement for college athletes and for the universities to kind of work together. And it's one of those things that I know whenever it gets talked about in professional sports or even just in workplaces, sometimes that whole thing is like, oh, it's the unions, it's blah, blah, blah. I kind of want to break down why I think this is the most important thing that they need to get off the ground immediately and not keep pushing off. And we'll kind of go over what's being proposed, what some ADs are kind of saying about that, and honestly how it ties into the MAC at the end of it all.
Well, and I think there's some interesting parallels to what's happening with the proposal of that CBA at the college level and what we're seeing with the CBA in the MLB.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Because there's some salary cap problems on the player side that could absolutely play into that.
Absolutely. But let's start with high school today.
Yes.
What are we, 2 weeks away?
Yeah, just about 2 weeks and 2 days, which is going to create a slight problem because I have 4 conferences left.
After this one?
Yes.
Oh.
So what I'm thinking, I've got a plan.
Yeah, I believe you.
I've got a plan. We'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
We'll make something magical happen.
But let's use, as you mentioned, there was a big transfer announcement.
Yes.
Right after you talked about how great a player was.
Oh yeah.
So let's go ahead and go over that one. Real quick.
So last week, if you guys recall, I mentioned Taylor as one of these teams that I'm really keeping an eye on in the Hills League. Think they're going to be very talented. One of the players that I was like, he's going to be pretty important to their defense, kind of stepping up into some of that lost production. Mike Branch, defensive end out there. Let's see, 3 days ago, so 2 or 3 days after we posted the episode, he announced that he's transferring to Oak Hills. So he's taking 79 tackles, 7 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles away from the Yellow Jackets, moving over to Oak Hills. Wanted to make sure we mentioned that because that obviously does kind of change the forecast for the Taylor defense a little bit.
And let me ask you this then, because that was the Cincinnati Hills League.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor was your second pick, but you wanted to make sure that we mentioned Indian Hill because of Devlin Daniel.
Correct.
Do you move Indian Hill up in your mind now to that second slot?
I don't know if I move them up across the board, but I do know that I feel I would if those two teams are playing, I would predict Indian Hill because now I have significantly less confidence in the Taylor defense.
Okay.
If that tracks.
Yeah.
Because Devlin is such a game-changing guy that losing somebody as valuable as Branch right before the season starts, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's an adjustment that you have to make within 2 weeks now.
Correct. Also worth mentioning, we have not talked about the Greater Miami Conference, which is where Oak Hills plays.
Okay.
So we could talk about Branch again.
Sure.
We could absolutely talk about Branch again. But we've got the GCLs first.
Yes.
And foremost. All right, so last week I told you guys, I was also like, well, spoiler alert, we'll probably be talking about St. X and Elder. That is not how that is ended up shaking.
That was a lie. Yeah.
50%. We got 50%. Oh, and Moeller's not included because they were in my teams I'm most excited for, a month-ish ago.
Yes.
Do want to shout out, because Elder did not end up being one of these, I do want to shout out Derek Aron. He is going to be such a vital cog to the Panther defense. And if you want to see what you can expect out of him, his top 19 on 19 just came out a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So you can find that on YouTube, the Fox 19 Sports app. I believe Reagan Holgate posted it on her Twitter as well.
Yeah.
So make sure to go check that out. The Panthers are going to be really good. The GCL South, just in totality, is a very, very scary conference this year, as it usually is. But make sure to tune into that one. He deserves some focus.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Bombers. The one that I did correctly say was going to be on this list.
Yes. You had a 2 out of 3 shot.
Yeah, and I still failed the
missed.
test. Yeah, still failed the test. The St. X went 10-4 last year. Their losses included 4 to Lakota West, 8 to Moeller in the regular season, Trinity, Kentucky by 4, and then Moeller again by 5 in the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, you can't win for losing. That is all close, all within one score. Tough beats, but a lot of promise and a lot of very talented kids returning. 27 points per game last year, 14.6 allowed. Among the notable grads, Chase Herbstreit, their quarterback. Obviously, not really a super pass-heavy offense. They don't really lean into that, but Chase, his leadership and his mobility, both very vital to the school last year at 1,600 yards. And then Lucas Bishop, a defensive back, he had 3 interceptions. He's also graduating.
Okay.
So
I know Herbstreit is at Michigan now.
Yes.
Do you know did Bishop go somewhere?
I did not check. If you want to, you can, but I don't.
Talking about returning stars.
I don't think so. But I do know that the first name that I want to talk about on returning stars, I know where he's going. He's going to Vandy. He's committed to be a Commodore. Daniel Vollmer, he's a senior. I have just listed him as a weapon because there's really no telling how they're going to use him.
And I'll interrupt real quick. He
Bishop.
went to Carnegie Mellon University.
Ooh, very smart.
Yes.
Very, very smart.
Smart kid.
He's going to make way more money than we do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, with Daniel Vollmer, he's also, going to Vandy. He's pretty cut out too. But I didn't put running back. I didn't put quarterback. I didn't put linebacker. I just wrote weapon.
Okay.
Because last year he had over 1,000 all-purpose yards, 18 total touchdowns, and he's a 3-star athlete, and it sounds like they're going to play him a little bit all over the place on offense.
Yeah.
Going to get, like I said, some QB snaps. Going to run the ball. Probably going to receive a little bit. If there's one player you have to shut down when you're playing St. X, it's got to be Daniel Vollmer.
Okay.
Locked on, comfortable with that. And then depending on who's throwing the ball around, Jake Britt is probably going to be the main receiver you're going to want to focus on. Mm-hmm. He had 376 yards on the ground, another 460 receiving, 5 total touchdowns. But, when you've got Vollmer and Herbstreit running so many of them like they did last year, you're kind of struggling to get your cut of it.
Yes. And
then on defense, I legitimately one of the best defensive players, really one of the best players just in the tri-state period, Jacoby Clapper. He's going to Notre Dame, so usually that kind of tips the hand. It's
might be a good player.
Yeah, it's like last year Justin Hill from Winton when he was like, oh, he's an Alabama commit. I wonder if that guy's good.
You're telling me he's going to the Ohio State University.
It's it's probably one to watch, huh? Clapper, Notre Dame commit, last year 105 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, a forced fumble to his name as well. St. X is just a talent factory.
Yeah.
A lot of the schools in the GCL South are a talent factory. This year feels especially dangerous. Like if you're a Moeller grad or fan or however you want to define that, St. X really does feel like, oh, that might be a real big problem. Especially when those games were as close as they were last year.
Yes.
You're returning who I would consider their most valuable player on offense and their most valuable player on defense. I think that sky's the limit. I think if they meet Moeller twice, that series gets split.
Okay.
That's going to be my prediction. If they play once, I could see Moeller just going 1-0, whatever. But if they run into each other again in the playoffs, I think that there's chaos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I even think last year when they met in the playoffs, there was a little bit of they might.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it was a 4-point game, or 5-point game. Yeah. I mean, they lost their games against Moeller by 13.
Yeah.
2 games, and I want to say that playoff game went to OT. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it went to OT. Okay. So I mean,
that's. Well, and just I mean, both those programs, all these programs that you're going to be mentioning,
yes,
including the next one,
yeah,
have a history of just being contenders,
yeah,
and solid. So I don't see the way that like it's a disappointing season for St. X. I'm sure I'll say this. I'm sure all the athletes want to win state, and that anything less is a disappointment. But when you are 5 years down the road, working full time, and you go, we had a great season that year.
Oh yeah,
type thing.
Oh yeah. So. You absolutely take what you got. And if you are, if you're looking for teams to be like, who do I need to keep your eyes on all season long? St. X has to be at least within your top 4 on your list.
Oh, absolutely.
And then LaSalle, I mean, like they're going to have even more battles. Like we focus so much on Moeller versus St. X, at least at the top of it. LaSalle and St. X is going to be a battle too.
Yes.
LaSalle and Moeller is going to be a battle. LaSalle and Elder. It's just, it's constant. 11-3 last year for the Lancers. They did lose to Moeller by 38. They lost to X by 9. And then Anderson by 7 in the playoffs, who we know was one of the craziest offenses in the whole state.
Yeah.
So to keep it as close as you did, that's extremely impressive in my eyes. Some of their notable wins include an 11-point win versus Roncalli, and then an 8-point win versus Kings, 37-0 versus Harrison. I mean, to hold Cole Coops to no touchdowns in a game, and Dickie Engel, and that's just you don't do that very often. 26.2 points per game, 16.3 allowed. Some of those notable grads include their quarterback, Pat McLaughlin, had almost 3,000 all-purpose yards. It was like high 2,800s. Brady O'Connor, who had 2 interceptions and 114 tackles. And then Fergus Kreider and Zach Gates, they combined for 11 sacks. It was 6 and 5.
Okay.
So, a lot of defensive production. And then obviously you lose your quarterback. That's a bit questionable.
Yeah. And I was going to say, in 2,000 of the 2,300 rushing yards graduating.
Yes. It is a tough turnover situation. Yeah. And I'm curious to see, because like Elder went 6-6 last year, I believe.
Okay.
LaSalle obviously finishing with a much higher mark and then had the win in conference. But I'm curious to see how that battle shakes out, because Elder does have more returning talent, but LaSalle has kind of just set themselves up as a more consistent year-over-year team. And I do like that. There's not to say that like there's no quality returning talent for LaSalle. Like what I did see from last year from David Malone, the little bit that we got to see, 128 yards on an average of 5.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Like he's going to have so many touches this year. I assume he's running back 1. He's the highest yards returner. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
He's the only one above 100 yards that came back. All the rest of them were seniors. He's going to kind of have to lead that charge. Javier Carter, over 300 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, like what we saw from him. We had a couple highlights from him on final quarter that kind of caught your eye. And then Claude Moore, a defensive back for the team, 26 tackles, 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and then 1 tackle for loss. He kind of had a minimized role. There were some guys out in front of him a little bit, but whenever he got on the field, he made plays.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that the coaching is going to be there, the work is going to be put in, and I would say that they're still probably an 8-win team. But it is worth noting that 11-win status is probably not what we're looking at this year for the Lancers.
Okay. Yeah.
But still very capable of giving anybody issues and real issues on their best day.
That's the thing with this conference in a way, division, however.
Yes.
But where you only play once.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's everything else is something out
Yeah.
out of the area, whatever. So you have that. It's almost a better litmus test for postseason play and things like that. Of, well, who are we going to play that's either bigger than us, stronger than us, whatever. Are we able to knock somebody off that then when we are in playoffs we can make a lot more noise, even if.
I believe St. X, because I don't know LaSalle's schedule off the top of my head, but I believe St. X and Winton Woods play pretty early in the year.
I think you're right, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I also think Elder plays somebody really fun, maybe Anderson. It might be an ECC GCL crossover situation.
That's scrimmage versus Mason. It's St. X has Lakota West, Centerville, Cathedral, Westerville, North.
Okay.
Moeller, Elder, Trinity from Kentucky, LaSalle, St. Ignatius, Life Christian Academy.
Then what am I thinking of? I could have swore that there was a. Let me.
They have a Mason scrimmage.
No, there was. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Sure.
This does not make for good audio. But either way, there is a lot of talent all throughout the conference. That's not a secret.
You're not thinking of Mount Healthy to end the season for LaSalle, are you?
No, because it was something that I had texted Austin that I was interested in going to.
Here, let me look at. I got Winton Woods up now. Springfield, Milford, Turpin, Anderson at the end of the year for Winton Woods. Okay,
what in the world? Because I'm not going to be able to scroll through the Brisky text and find this.
Yeah, of course not.
That's going to be...
There's too much.
Yeah, that's going to be a nightmare. We talk about NASCAR far too often.
Well, then let's let's race on over to the next team.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was about to start scrolling through these notes.
No,
but the text, rather. Yeah, so we're hopping over to the Coed.
We'll go to the GCL Coed, and you got the Baden Rams as your first team.
Yes. They are, they were 9-3 last year. 19.6 points per game, 10.3 allowed. Opened the year 0-2. Losses to Hamilton and then St. Francis de Sales. Mm-hmm. It went undefeated all the way up into their loss against Mount Healthy last year, or in the postseason. So
very nice.
Very clean run all the way through. Obviously undefeated in the Coed last year. Mm-hmm. And then they are losing a couple important players, all of which on defense that I was focused on. Royce Rochelle, 9 sacks. Roscoe Martin, 4.5 sacks. Xander Arnold, 3 interceptions. A lot of production.
Yeah.
13.5 sacks right there. That's
big piece of your defense.
Exactly. It's going to take some figuring out. Fortunately, a lot of their offense is coming back, and a linebacker core that I'm very interested to see perform this year.
Yeah.
Colt Emerson, their quarterback, we'll start with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just shy of 1,000 yards, 996 pass yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a little over 57% completion rate. Senior year, I bet those numbers take a bit of a jump. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking 1,400, 1,500 yards.
Yeah,
that's the goal in my mind at least.
Yeah,
especially within their offensive scheme.
And kind of just the way that you want to see yourself improve.
Exactly. It's just you continue to take your steps. Lem Grayson, a senior, 860 yards, 4.4 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns as a running back. And then here's that linebacker core. Trent Owens led the team with 110 tackles. Alex Pate led the team with 11.5 tackles for loss. And then Alex Albrink had 3 forced fumbles, obviously led the team, 92 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. It's just they all offer something different.
Yeah.
Or like their specialty was, you have Alex Albrink, who, sorry, I was just going to call him Alex, but we've got 2 of those.
Yes, good save.
Albrink is a forced fumble machine.
Mm-hmm.
Pate can get behind that line of scrimmage and cause issues with the running back. Owens is just all over the field, and ready to make that tackle wherever.
to make the dumbest
Oh no.
setup, but it's like when I play defense in like a football game, where I'll always go and grab one linebacker, and it doesn't matter what the play is, I will make them blitz. And that's the Alex Pate.
Yep.
Is the guy I'm controlling, and he's like, oh, I'm going to get behind, and I'm going to try and stop the running back, or I'm going to get the quarterback, and anything else that happens is up to the computer.
Does that not destroy your coverage? Or do you audible it out?
I sometimes it depends on the on. Let me tell you this: when I do it in 2005, NCAA football 2005 for the GameCube, it works like a charm.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah, of course.
When I do it in 2025, 26, opening right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I'm throwing bloopers just right over the center every day.
It's not great. It's a habit I'm trying to break.
What you should do is take control of an edge rusher, so that way it doesn't do that.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Logic over here. Oh, you bet you're gonna tell me to take control of the quarterback and have him throw the ball next on offense.
Actually, that'd be a good idea. What do you do? What are you, slot receiving? What do you? Just calling for the ball every play.
I just control the receiver and I run a vert. Doesn't matter what was called. And on 4 verts, I run a slant.
That's fantastic. That is so. Oh gosh. Well, yes. So point being, Alex Pate is exactly like that.
Yes. You're right though. I do like that trio returning, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, that like it's when you always talk about like linebacker rooms in college and things like that, like it means so much more in high school, I think, where you guys have been growing up together so much. You've spent all these years together. Now it's kind of like, oh, this is our senior year. Let's keep making magic happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially considering like having a really good set of linebackers when you need more edge production. You know, you're going to need guys to figure out how to get to the quarterback this year.
Yes.
And replace those numbers. To have those guys behind you is going to give the front four so much more confidence.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's going to, like, because let's say even if they overcommit and on it being pass rush, running back comes through, you've got those 3 dudes standing right behind you. You're allowed to make mistakes. Don't search it out. But you've got such a core.
Don't do it on purpose.
Exactly. But you've got such a core fundamental thing that it should just automatically be like, okay, let me just try to get after this because we need this production made.
Yes.
So.
And you can lead from the center of the field.
Exactly.
I think so.
Exactly. So the Baden Rams, absolutely one to watch. Another one to watch, and another one that just got a top 19, McNicholas, their running back, Caleb Nauman, literally yesterday at the time of recording, was the top 19. Jeremy Rao posted that one on his Twitter.
Okay.
Again, also on the Fox 19 Sports app and our YouTube channel.
Yes.
If you guys haven't figured out where to watch us, I don't know how you're listening to this now, but
but let me tell you,
podcast.
There's a lot of great places.
Yeah, there is.
If they're listening.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Point being, McNick, 9-3 last year as well. Crazy numbers. This is the numbers that I missed from football. 29.3 points per game, 8.9 allowed.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, freaks. Lost their 3 games by a combined 9 points. So Steubenville, Baden, Bellbrook, total of 9. Are you laughing at the freaks?
Yes, just the way you said it. I wasn't prepared for it.
Oh, man.
We got a lot of graduates, though.
We do. We got a whole bunch of them. Braden Bobo, their quarterback, about 1,500 all-purpose. Bo Tobin, 9 sacks. Blaze Volker, 78 tackles. Jack Meyer, 5 sacks. Nate Collier, 6 interceptions. That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of production. Now, fortunately, we did catch some glimpses of the quarterback that should be taking over, Stephen Meadlebrink. Hope I'm saying that right. Almost 400 yards, 398, 57.6 completion rate, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Obviously, very limited minutes. Bobo was leading the charge there, but promising stats. I mean,
that looks like something where those are the kind of stats where I go, okay, I feel confident bringing you in, and you might have a younger guy taking reps underneath and be ready to take over the next year type thing.
Yeah, 100%. So it'll be his senior year, so he's really going to have to make an impression as well.
Exactly.
Which gives me a little more confidence, if I'm honest, because it's like this is your chance, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got
Ball
to be
out.
right. He's got to be dedicated to it. Caleb Nauman, like we mentioned, over 1,300 rush yards, 16 touchdowns.
Huge.
Really smart kid. Again, I really do encourage y'all to go listen to his and Aaron's interviews. Just very, very talented athletes all across the tri-state. And then on defense, we've got Zach Belmont, 58 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and a pick, as well as Brody Conrad. He's a junior. He's the maybe the only one today that was a junior. Going back and looking, yes, the only junior we've talked about today. Brody 11 tackles, 1 interception, 41 return yards on that pick. That's why I wanted to include him. He was obviously behind the depth chart, behind guys like Nate Collier, you know, getting 6 interceptions. But whenever he had his opportunity, he took it and he ran with it quite literally. So I'm very interested to see how his evolution goes, especially being 2 years away from being done anyways.
Yes.
So, yeah, those are the teams to watch in the Coed and South. And then I'm at risk of not wanting to embarrass myself again. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing next week.
Because you don't know which conferences you want to do yet?
Or how you
want to shape this out.
So to show you a little bit of how my brain's working
peel
here,
the curtain back.
Just slightly. I am debating either doing all 4 next week, just doing 2 of them next week, and then finding week 1 games involving the top ones of the other ones.
Okay.
But I already know that I have to commit 1 game to Indiana.
Yes, you do.
Because that's Lawrenceburg and EC.
Correct.
So it's a real juggling ordeal right now.
And you're going to drop all the balls.
Correct. And and what I really feel bad because I do not want to leave out the Southern and Southwestern Buckeye.
Of course not.
And so it's like just trying to figure out how to mash it all together, and we're going to get there.
I'll give you 7 days to figure it out.
There we go.
And I think we can do that.
I bet we can. I totally bet we can. But something else that needs figured out is how to pay college athletes. And how to do within structure, because it has been just the source of so many headaches.
I love the way that we try to out segue the other.
Oh, and it's never good.
And it's
never good.
No, it's good. It's over the top, but it's good. Yes. So I wanted to talk a little bit. The website athletes.org met with, which is a players association for college athletes, is how they describe themselves.
Yes.
This reporting is from Ross Dellinger with Yahoo Sports. He's done a lot with NIL coverage, and especially spent time at Washington when the Senate committees were doing hearings on it, all that stuff. So I've found him to be a very reliable source on all of this. So athletes.org met with 24 college football general managers from power conference teams.
Yes.
They did not say which ones and things like that. But the big thing that kind of came away from it was we're going to have to come together and create a collective bargaining agreement like the NFL, like the NBA, like the MLB, to figure out how we're going to make this shape out.
Okay.
Some of the highlights from the meeting that they included in a press release that was posted was that all the GMs said you need to include collective bargaining. They believe that college sports is operating on top of a broken foundation, which needs restructuring, which I think everyone arguably agrees with, because it's just so many different ways that players can get paid. 100% feel that transparency around payment amounts would be helpful to stabilize the market. A majority were in favor of a minimum spending and rev share floor to help promote parity and competitive balance within college football. 100% were in favor of removing a transfer portal window during the football season.
Okay.
Which I read as the one in December.
Yeah.
Basically between the bowl games and the conference championships.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we saw Pribula from Penn State and Preston Stone from SMU, very viable potential players. If there was an injury, some of them would be allowed to be back up, some of them weren't for some reason.
Yes.
And just created all kinds of mess.
And so they want to retool it into, as they say, a better window, or to better timing for coaches and athletes with academic calendars in mind prior to spring football beginning.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how you'd make that happen at the end of the day. You could maybe say something where it's it's the first week of January, but these athletes
That's
are
still
already
your 6 bowls.
that's still New Year's Six bowls. That's you're already going to classes in like 2 weeks that you've signed up for.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I'm not even going to touch on that right now because I have no clue how you would make that work.
No.
But continuing on, 100% want to see performance-based incentives that would reward playtime, particularly for those who outperform their existing contract, which reads to me kind of like walk-ons getting scholarships long-term. So maybe you get somebody that signs on at a low level but ends up outperforming, and those players can get some kind of bonus, essentially.
Yeah.
100% are in favor of a 5-year concurrent window of eligibility that begins as soon as an athlete becomes a full-time student at the collegiate level. And then 100% agreed an agent certification process and registry should be necessary. And 100% would like to see an appropriate fee structure for agent compensation, creating a range with pro league rates.
Okay.
Which is just, hey, let's make sure agents are also in control. Or because I think at the end of the day, a lot of the numbers that get thrown around get inflated because, and I'm not saying every agent, but agents are going to try to make those numbers higher to get more of a cut out of it.
Right.
Because they're the ones brokering the deal.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that's just being good at your job. Like, ultimately, you're chasing your paycheck.
Now, I think the biggest thing here is two things. It's the minimum spending floor, transparency around those payment market amounts, and basically making a market. You know, I can go look up pro contracts.
Yeah, immediately. Yes.
College stuff isn't out there.
And with private universities, you never will.
Yeah,
like Northwestern, you're never going to know how much those kids
make. Northwestern, you know, I'm not going to know Xavier type thing.
No.
Now, I think you could set it up where it is in their best interest to release those numbers. But until that happens,
there's no incentive right now.
Yeah.
Like, all it does is tell the teams how much money they need to pay to get your guys off your roster.
Exactly. Yes.
As of now, you know, like we're working towards the cap and whatever.
But and then that's why I think, you know, you got to once you establish the market, once you're showing those numbers, you're going to have your extreme ends, and then those ends can kind of start coming in closer to a more standard spread.
Yeah.
So that is a big thing. I really like the rewarding playtime for players who outperform existing contracts. Or maybe it's one of those things where at the end of the day, that's probably never going to happen. Or I shouldn't say never.
Right.
Not going to happen soon because that is paying players for playtime. Right. And that is the whole thing that they're trying to still avoid.
Correct.
At the NCAA level. Do I think giving universities a way to reward players for great games or coming, you know, if the third stringer comes in, makes an insane play, does something incredible to save a game, and they were only, you know, fake number, but they were only getting like $2,000, and hey, let's give them $10,000 for that game because they did this really cool thing and people are talking about him now.
Right.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. I've been sitting here thinking about how you make the scheduling work.
Mm-hmm.
Also worth noting, because like I listened to Josh Pate a little bit on this issue.
Sure.
And one of the things that he thought was interesting was because like a lot of the SEC and like Southern schools are like, yeah, you could just do it in like January or February, the transfer portal opening.
Yes.
And a lot of the Big Ten schools are wanting to do it later, you know, closer to the summer and whatever, because who wants to, no offense, but who wants to visit Ann Arbor in January?
As someone who's gone to Ann Arbor in January or February, you don't.
Yeah, or Madison, Wisconsin. Columbus isn't as bad. Columbus keeps tough, but yeah, East Lansing, just so many of those schools. It's like that is objectively like, would you rather be there? Would you rather be in? You know,
I'll say this: West Lafayette in January is a nightmare sometimes.
I believe that.
So
I absolutely believe that. And like, don't get me wrong, like Knoxville and you know, like even Athens can be kind of gross in January, but it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah, it's a different kind of gross.
Yeah, exactly. Point being, I almost think that you have to you do need to do the window in like January, after the bowl games have been played, and then figure out how to like put those students on delay and like kind of extend their school year in a sense of like tack on the summer school. You know what I mean? Like it's
here's a crazy idea.
Okay. Stop making them go to school.
No, make them only go to school once they decide to transfer.
Here's the danger of that.
Mm-hmm.
The kids on campus. For example, Nico Yamaleava.
Yeah,
That kid cannot go to class in
Yeah,
Knoxville.
he can't go to class. You're right.
You could do online school.
Yeah.
Like if they would allow that for the semester, it's like, hey, you have to enter the portal by January 15th. We'll switch you to online classes, whatever. But
yeah.
But yeah, like you can't.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because and I think it's because of those fringe cases like Nico, and not
Brew
necessarily-
McCoy, whenever he couldn't hardly commit to a school.
Yeah.
Whenever he kept flipping between SC and Texas.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just one of those things where I go, okay, well the concern is that if they enter the transfer portal and leave, you know, they're missing that time in school and things like that. Yeah. Or it's like it's standardizing degrees and classes, but I don't.
They're not.
You don't want
gonna
to do that.
No.
And that's outside of like the NCAA's regulations and things like that. So
Yeah, that becomes like a federal board issue.
But yeah, I don't know when you could actually make that happen to make it work. But January or May would have to kind of be it.
Well, and May even still feels late because, like, at least if I can transfer this kid in and he go to online school, I can send him the
practices.
playbook. Right.
He can read.
He can practice. He can playbook. We can talk to him without it being.
He can use
like
our facilities, work out with our
exactly
trainers,
and he's with us by the summer.
Yes. So.
But yeah, I don't. Either way, it does need to kind of come to fruition because we need structure. I personally cannot stand that April transfer window.
That's
because like unless all the kids are going to come out in that is unfortunately the second wave, and a lot of times there's a couple really talented dudes that enter, but not like whoever loses that talented guy does not have the option of replacement.
Correct.
Very rarely. Like,
Yes.
look at the quarterback,
Yes.
for example, again. Like, in January, we had Mateer, and I don't personally think he's that good, but Carson Beck, and I'm just trying to think. A lot of very talented transfers.
Yes.
In April, it was Gio Lopez, Joey Aguilar, and Nico Amaleava.
Yeah.
Those were the three. North Carolina took Gio, and then
USC took
Aguilar. Or UCLA took
UCLA, yeah.
or UCLA took Nico, and then Tennessee took Aguilar.
Yeah.
So it's just like that becomes very more linear. But again, like I said, if everybody's coming out in April, then that's not necessarily a problem, I don't guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I would like to just have one regardless. Is I guess my point.
It's kind of like I wish there was just one signing day.
Yeah, I do too.
Still.
Yeah, early signing day, that's kind of, what does that mean?
What does it change?
Like, you can commit whenever you want.
Yep.
If you want to do the hat thing and the whatever, like.
Is the only reason for early signing day the kids who graduate high school early and go to campus?
I think so.
what
But a lot of
they're
those kids will still flip.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
Recruiting used to be so much easier to follow than it is now. And I feel like there's way more 5 stars.
Yeah. It's probably inflated a little bit, but we also have, I think we have more freaks of nature.
True.
And just athletes who have, it's like the conversation around like LeBron, where he's just learned how to take care of his body in such a way that he is probably going to be the longest tenured well, he is the longest tenured, but I was going to say the oldest. Like, there's a good chance he could be the oldest player in NBA history at some
He
point.
very well might play till he's like 47 years old.
Yeah, because I think it's like 45 in some months or something like that is the oldest right now, and he's like 5th away or something like that. It's just it's crazy. Or Tom Brady, like setting up that, and you now have Mahomes who signed a 10-year deal. It's like, yeah, he's going to take care of himself to be the best he can be for that extended period of time.
And we've even seen him change his play style to still be, probably the best quarterback in the league, but while without putting that risk and toll on his body.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But all right, we've talked a lot about that. We've also got some MAC football to worry about.
Well, and then I wanted to kind of tie it in because the fact of transfers is still the biggest issue for the G5 or for the
That's G5.
Yeah, it's still the G5 now, not
It's
P4. P4
yes.
G5.
Do we go back to P5 when Mountain West or when the Mountain
Pac-12.
West becomes the Pac-12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Maybe.
That doesn't feel right.
We'll see.
Okay.
Everybody still calls it the Power 2 now anyway, where it's Big 10, SEC, and it's like, and then there's also Big 12 and ACC.
You don't know how much it bothers me that the Pac-12 is literally just going to be
the
university, the Mountain West, but it's also just going to be the state school group.
Yeah.
It's just Boise State, Utah State, other state, Colorado State.
Yeah.
San Diego State, San Jose State.
States.
Like it's there's not like even UTEP went to the Mountain West. Like Texas State.
Yeah.
Texas State is now a Pac-12 team. It's like there's no non-state schools.
You're right. Yeah. No, hey. And also most of them aren't on the Pacific Coast.
Uh-huh. Almost none of them. Almost none of them. Boise, Idaho is now a Pacific location apparently.
Yes.
It's not even in the Pacific time zone.
So moving back to the transfer portal and its impact on the G5, one of the teams that was impacted the most this year was the Miami Redhawks.
Yes.
They lost 11 starters.
Uh-huh.
And as Chuck Martin said during the MAC kickoff up in Detroit, quote, "I've never had that before," was the answer after being.
God bless Chuck Martin. I really, he is just too good.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say this: his interview, fantastic. On ESPN right now, so that you can go watch. They are returning 31% of their production from last year. 49% on defense.
Yes.
15% on offense. One offensive starter, 5 defensive starters. Okay. Now this is his 12th year with the Redhawks. They went 9-5 last year, 7-1 in the MAC, not including the MAC championship game. 8 of the last 9 seasons, they've been bowl eligible.
Yes.
I don't see that changing this year. Chuck Martin is a coach, and I will mention the only other coach arguably in the MAC right now who I think is in that setting of you're going to expect them to be in the top 3, if not top 2, every year now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sure you know who I'm going to be talking about.
Yes, I do.
But, after 12 years, even with these changes, he's learning to adapt and did a good job of grabbing players from the portal, from recruiting and things like that I think he's doing a solid job. Some of the pickups he had was a cornerback, Coy Beasley from Purdue,
yes.
edge by Job from Kansas, and most notably, DeQuan Finn, former MAC MVP, joining him from Baylor via way of Toledo.
God, that's so weird that this is like the map now.
Yeah.
With the
and I'll say this with DeQuan because
Yes.
he did talk a little bit during he came on after Martin, talked about it's kind of a second chance, second win. His year at Baylor didn't go arguably the way he planned. I believe he played in 3 games, started 2. Only had about started 2 games, just over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Took a medical hardship waiver to get this year to play. His MVP season in 2023 for Toledo,
yes.
threw 2,657 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 63.4 passing percentage, 7 rushing. He has run for 27 touchdowns in his career and thrown for 66.
He's very, very talented. Dude.
He's a very, very talented player.
Yeah.
Martin said that he had tried to recruit him out of high school because he's from Detroit. Finn is from Detroit area, which I think kind of was a piece of what played into him going to Toledo in the end of it all.
Right.
But Martin said it wasn't like he was searching him out, but when he saw him in the portal, he's kind of like, hey, you want to come here? They kind of agreed, and here they are. It's one of those things where you have a very good you just have a name for yourself as Miami right now, as the Redhawks. It's kind of what I mentioned where it's like losing the amount of players they do each year is a testament for something to change about the portal or how players are paid because it kind of turns into a shopping list for the SEC.
Yes.
It was, I believe, South Carolina, Ole Miss, I want to say Florida all took transfers out of Miami this year. I might be making Florida up. I know Ole Miss and South Carolina were definitely included. But it's and that's across the MAC.
Yes.
Is these teams can go and look and go, oh, here's a really good player that stood out on this team. I bet he'll want to come play on a team that may be able to compete for the national championship. Now, there's a argument to be said that the nice thing about the G5 is that you are fighting within the G5 for a spot in the playoffs now.
Yes.
One singular spot, and we may see down the road a time where, I'm just gonna say Miami goes 12-0. Can't say Boise State.
No, because well, actually, that still might.
We
don't know.
Well, they may keep it like that because they're going to change that in the long run too.
But for the thing, we'll say it's not. We'll say it's the American. Let's say it's Memphis.
Sure. Yes. Memphis goes 12-0. They haven't played all year. There's no.
Yes.
Are you? How are you going to pick?
Yeah.
Boise State was an easy pick last year because it was like you have Ashton Janty, you have freak of nature.
You have other things.
you have a very strong team.
You have a blue field.
You got a blue field. It's arguably a program that has historic value in playoffs and things like that.
Shout out Kellen Moore.
That I think that was an easy pick. I don't know what Boise State's bringing this year. If they go 7-5 in the regular season, are they going? They go 9-3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're
and that's like one non-conference loss.
Yes,
because I think they only lost to Oregon last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because and it was close.
Yeah, and it was still a close game.
It was like a touchdown.
Yes. So all that is weird,
right?
I did want to mention that while they are making changes on defense, adding players in the portal for Miami, they do have safeties returning that are kind of their anchors. That's Silas Walters and Eli Blakely. I did love one thing that Chuck Martin said was that he's still not a fan of losing divisions in the MAC, which it's been a couple of years since you had the East and West. But it was a very specific thing. Was he said, "Yeah, I miss playing Western Michigan in the championship." And I was like, yeah, it's kind of fair.
I get it.
Because he played Ohio twice last year. When they won the MAC 2 years ago, they played Toledo twice.
Yes.
It's kind of that thing when we mentioned with St. X and Moeller, where you play a team twice, you get different results each time.
Well, and it's so much harder to beat a team the second time.
Absolutely.
Because now they know what did it for you.
Yes.
And they kind of have that advantage of like, oh, this is what we have to stop. This is, kind of our changes where it's like, can we just repeat? That's kind of the best you got.
Yeah. And so looking at the schedule for the Red Hawks this year, kind of interesting. I think it is a difficult start where I see them going I see a good chance of 2-2 coming out of non-conference.
Okay.
First week is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's a good chance they beat Wisconsin.
Fickle's hot in the hot seat.
Fickle's on the hot seat, and Wisconsin, this is one of those games that they need to prove. Go ahead.
Question. If Wisconsin fires Fickle and UC fires Satterfield, reunion or no? Who says no to the reunion? Because I think it's probably UC.
You think UC would say no?
Yeah. I think if somebody says no.
Yeah, I think Fickle would be more willing to come back to Cincinnati than Cincinnati be willing to take in Fickle again. But that's also because I think at that point then it feels like you're just hiring another Satterfield in a way. In a way,
yeah.
Just because Satterfield did really well at a former program, went to Louisville, didn't do as hot, leaves Louisville, and UC goes, well, he can do better here, or it was kind of just he knows Power 5 conference. We're going to the Big 12. We need somebody with that experience.
Right.
I don't necessarily have an issue with Fickle coming back.
I don't either.
But
I think that if somebody's going to say no, it's UC.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It would be UC if anyone.
But it also it kind of feels like a Scott Frost thing with the UCF, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a year ahead and completely irrelevant to what we're talking about now. Sorry, continue. I think Wisconsin versus Miami will be a close game.
And if Miami wins, I think it's the first match that gets struck. The next, and this is in Wisconsin, next week they play Rutgers. in Piscataway.
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers is not the Rutgers that I would make fun of when I was in college.
No, it is not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And weirdly enough, Schiano was not the coach that I thought would do that.
Yep. It's weird.
It's real weird. And also, like, their basketball team can draw 5 stars now.
Yep.
And, like, there's, like, some...
And still not do well.
No, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey did not matter.
Are they playing the NBA? Yes, they are.
Yeah, but, like, Ace might not. He does not seem happy.
Yeah.
Regardless, it is a weird culture change. Like, no...
Good for them.
No lie. They have probably the most significant, but like least spoken about culture change outside of Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado had a big old vibe shift with
Colorado
Deion.
has it because they have Deion, and Deion's talking about it.
Yes.
I don't think Schiano necessarily wants to put cameras.
I don't think Schiano wants people to know he's there.
Yeah, that's also fair.
It's like witness protection, maybe.
This is just a Sopranos episode that I think
Correct.
you're writing right now.
Yes, well, New Jersey and the mob and whatnot. But regardless, yeah, like there's a thing to them now.
Yeah.
That just was not there for a long time.
And we won't talk about who's the worst team in the Big Ten now. So following up that Big Ten doubleheader for the Red Hawks, they do play UNLV at home. That is the first home game.
Dan Mullins.
Yeah. I forget about that every time, too.
It still would have been scary if it was still Barry Odom. But now it's just another former SEC coach, but this one did better in the SEC.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, well.
Yeah, but also
I like
hasn't
Barry.
been doing good.
No, I prefer Barry.
Okay.
Like, as a head coach, I prefer Barry to Dan, like, in 2025.
Yeah.
But objectively, like, Dan did a better job at Florida than Barry did at Missouri. Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't think that's anything salacious.
That's fair.
It was a longer tenure, harder school. I'll stop. I do think Miami wins that game.
We're talking about the MAC.
Yes.
And they're moving on. And then they play Lindenwood at home.
Who?
Lindenwood.
What is that?
It's a university.
Where?
It is a private university in St. Charles, Missouri, near St. Louis.
Oh, shout out.
They founded in 1832. Lindenwood University offers dynamic liberal arts degrees.
What is their mascot?
Leo the Lion.
The Lindenwood Lions?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with 3-1.
You go 3. Who do you? So
I think it's a weird beat over Rutgers. I think Wisconsin wins it. Fickle's like, check me out, and then
start the season 1-0, and then loses the next 11.
Yeah. No, I do think Wisconsin goes like 7-5, 6-6.
Yeah. I was gonna say Wisconsin's one where I put them on the edge of bowl eligibility, but most likely tipping over.
I agree. But give me 3-1 to start the year for Miami.
Okay.
And some conflict.
And then you get into the conference. Northern Illinois, Akron, back-to-back away.
Yep.
Play the directional Michigans,
Mm-hmm.
Eastern, Western. Not all
Central.
of them. Not all the directionals. Eastern and Western.
Okay.
You get the Compass Michigans.
Yes.
At home, end of October, 18th, 25th. Then you go on a 3-game run. That is the hardest 3-game run of the season for them. Ohio, Toledo, Buffalo. Now, I will say this. When they brought that up on the interview, Chuck Martin went, I'm scared of November right now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily scared, but like that. Like he's like, I'm looking at November. That is going to be the difficult part of the schedule.
That's the drag.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you close out against Ball State at home.
I hear 9 wins. I think you drop Toledo and then one of the Buffalo OU game.
Okay.
That would be my prediction. I think you're 9-3 at the end of the year, having lost to Wisconsin, and then those.
I think that's a fair take. In my opinion, I think they go 10-2.
Yeah, and that's entirely possible. I think they are better than OU and Buffalo. I think them and Toledo is a very close matchup.
Yes.
But I think that the wear and tear or preparation for Toledo on either side of that is going to be a tough cross to bear.
Because let's talk about where the preseason poll for the MAC is right now.
Yes.
Toledo, this is the coaches poll. 7 first place votes, 135 votes points overall, first place.
Yes.
Miami, 3 first place votes, 131 points. So 4 points behind.
Yep.
Ohio, 3 first place votes, 123 points. Buffalo, 115 points. Those are your top 4. Those are all the ones that are over 100 points.
Yes.
It is a 21-point drop-off to Northern Illinois.
And that's honestly, like, no disrespect to Northern Illinois, but that's probably that's not sharp enough.
Fair. Yeah,
I think it's a top 4.
Yeah, I think it is a top 4 conference.
Yes.
It's an A tier, B tier, C tier, because I do think Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, Western, Eastern, Michigans are kind of the middle, and then Central, Ball State, Akron, UMass are the next set of 4, and Kent State is on its own at the very bottom.
Yeah, I would agree. You might even pull UMass down there with Kent State, but like it's your split.
No, I think Kent State's in a bad spot.
Like, okay.
I think even worse than UMass.
That's fair.
UMass is, I think UMass beats Kent State no matter if they play this year type thing. So, voting for conference championship, for 4 conference champions, 6 votes for Toledo, 4 for Miami, 3 for Ohio.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So like I said, it's those top 4. Toledo is in probably a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding running back Chip Trainum. This is his 4th school. You may know him from stops at Arizona State, Ohio State, and the University of Kentucky last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Gleason is in his 6th year with almost 2,800 passing yards, 24 touchdowns. He was under DeQuan Finn at Toledo leading up to this year, or up to last year, I should say. They beat Mississippi State last year. They play Kentucky this year. They might beat Kentucky this year.
They very well might be.
It's a very good chance.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think they are a team that can blow close games, which is why, in a weird way, I think if there's a weird Miami win, it's over Toledo.
Fair.
Where even though on paper it looks like that, I think Miami can.
It wouldn't even be a weird win, in my opinion. Yeah. Is my problem,
because they're like that 1A 1B.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I think it's just like, oh, whoever wins this is 1A.
Yes, exactly. Like, takes that top spot.
Whereas I do think Rutgers, like, on paper, is a better team. You know, being a Big Ten, whatever. But it's like okay.
But Chuck Martin, I think,
he's just a really good
figure
coach.
out how to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Big Ten team.
Shiana has figured it out a little bit, but I still don't have that much confidence in him.
Yes,
it's like hard to really describe, if I'm honest.
That is fair. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to mention as well is that this is with these top 4 teams. How many years of college football experience do you think collectively these 4 quarterbacks have? This is Toledo, Buffalo, Ohio, and Miami.
Collectively, all right.
Collectively.
So Flynn has 4. Wait, is it playing years or just years?
Years in college.
Okay. Collectively. Let me go with 16.
Too low. This is 25 years of experience. So like I said,
I'm 24 years old.
Yes.
That is insane.
Well, when DeQuan Finn started playing football at Toledo, or went to Toledo, you were 17. You were in high school.
Weird.
I was just graduating college. Or starting. Yeah, just graduating college, and starting my first job.
And in the world.
Yes. And so, but he's not the only one. You know, he was with Toledo for a long time. Went to Baylor, came to Miami.
Yes.
Gleason has been with Toledo for all those years. You know, had the COVID year.
This is his senior.
This is his last year.
So he's 5.
This is his 6th year because he still got the COVID year.
Oh, he got a freshman year, or he got a redshirt year and a COVID redshirt.
Exactly.
Got it. Following.
Yes. Buffalo might have the best defense in the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
Insane linebacker room. Kobe Stewart is returning an edge rusher. Pete Lembo seems to be doing well after our first year.
Yes.
Taquan Roberson is the quarterback. This is his 7th year. This is his 4th school. You may know him from a Penn State game where they played Iowa. I believe this was 2019.
Jeez.
It was Penn State versus Iowa, and Penn State got upset because he could not move the ball. He then went for a stop at UConn for a couple years, and then was at Kansas State for a year last year before coming to Buffalo.
Backing up Avery Johnson.
Yes.
Had to have.
I believe he had some playing time at Kansas State, but yes.
I don't remember that. Okay.
And then Parker Navarro for Ohio.
Yeah.
This is his 5th year, 2,400 passing yards, 66% percentage. Over 1,000 rushing yards, has more rushing touchdowns than passing yards, and is one of 5 quarterbacks to go over 1,000 yards rushing.
Okay.
So it's I I think on paper I go Toledo, Miami, Buffalo, Ohio. Only because I like that defense coming back for Buffalo. I think we could watch 2 weeks of games and I go Buffalo is fourth.
Yes.
But I want to see what the defense can do for the first.
I also think that there's enough upside in that defense that they could go to second.
Exactly.
Or it's because
Well,
Toledo
I don't
and
know.
Miami do feel
I think
like
Toledo and
so
Miami are
locked
just-
in.
Yeah.
But like there is a lot of threat where it's like they might still be third, but they can beat first and second.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like a still don't take them on the average, but
But they might get upset by Bowling Green.
Exactly.
But Ohio has shown consistency on offense. Obviously, they were MAC champions last year, beating Miami in the championship game after losing to them in the regular season. We'll have to see how these. I'm sure it's going to come down to tiebreakers again this year, it did last year, and we'll see kind of where those things play out. But if you're a Red Hawk fan, I think this again is another year of good. We're looking forward to this. I know I was down after the Northwestern loss at the start of last year on them. I'm much higher on, even if they lose to Wisconsin or Rutgers, that they turn it around and have a very solid season this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of, even with all the transfers that we've been talking about, it's just one of those things that Chuck Martin keeps reloading. He brought in a lot of good talent, some recognizable MAC names, obviously under center, and just sky's the limit.
Yeah. And I think that
wraps us up today, right?
That wraps us up, and I think that touches on everything in college.
Good,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
because we've done SEC, ACC.
So what we'll have
Big
to do
10,
is
MAC.
I'll steal your time and just do the 4 conferences next week.
Honestly, and then I might also, and then I'll figure out something else to do instead.
We'll figure it out.
We'll work that out, and I'll try to not be as relaxed into this chair next week, because let me tell you, folks,
it's comfy.
You sink,
and they are comfortable.
They're comfortable chairs.
This is luxury. This is what luxury looks like, folks.
This is what podcasting will get you. But thank you all for joining us. If you're watching along on YouTube or on the Fox 19 website, remember that you can always take the audio version with you if you want to listen to it on your car. You can download it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, under the Fox 19 Sports header. These episodes come out every Thursday, and then the episodes of The Gold Standard with Joe Danneman and Charlie Goldsmith talking Bengals, Reds, come out on Friday mornings. So you can get both those shows in one spot. So makes it easy for you.
Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to it and follow it and all that.
And like
good
you've been
stuff.
saying, 19 on 19 is going on right now.
Yes.
And so you can catch those videos either on the sports team's Twitter pages, social media, and stuff like that, or they're posted right onto fox19.com. I believe /sports. Yep, fox19.com/sports.
Easy.
And you can find them labeled there. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Have a good one.